Shalom, beloved brethren, in four corners of the earth, principally in Israel and in Brazil as well. שלום לכל ישראליתים בהרבות כנפות של רעיית ראשוני בברזיל בישראל. כאן אסאף בנמי Crispin Levi, אשר מדבר איתכם. Here the elder Asaaf Benami Crispin Levi, who speaks with you. We're going to continue with the reading of the Torah, because the Torah is our life. The Torah is our redemption, okay? And we stopped in the number 99 in the former teaching. And now we're going to the number 100. And I would like to call your attention to the reading of the Torah, the Eternal Covenant. Okay, and this item number 100, women after childbirth or ritually unclean. Women after childbirth or ritually unclean. Vaikra, chapter 12, verse 12 to 7. Let's do the reading. Speak to the children of Israel, saying, when a woman has conceived and has given birth to a male child, then she shall be unclean 7 days, as in the days of her monthly separation. She is unclean. And on the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin is circumcised, and she remains in the blood of her cleansing 33 days. She does not touch whatever is set apart, and she does not come into the set apart place until the days of her cleansing are completed. But if she gives birth to a female child, then she shall be unclean for 2 weeks, as in her monthly separation, and she remains in the blood of her cleansing for 66 days. And when the days of her cleansing are completed for a son or for a daughter, she brings to the priest a lamb, a year old, as a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove as a sin offering to the door of the tent of meeting. And he shall bring it before Yahweh, and make atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the flow of her blood. This is the Torah for her who has given birth to a male or a female. Well, you can see here when a female, okay, or a woman has a son, after a childbirth of a son, she stays cleansing for 40 days. 7 days, it's a normal separation, and afterwards, plus 33 days, okay. And if she gives birth to a female or a child, a female, she stays in her separation, like the Torah says, 2 weeks or 40 days, and afterward more 66 days to complete the 40 days for the childbirth of a son, of a male, and the 80 days for a childbirth of a female child. Well, we're going to see now in the oral law. Oral law. Bereshit 21, Bereshit chapter 21, verse 1 to 5. Bereshit. Chapter 21, verse 1 to 5. And Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahweh did for Sarah as he had spoken. So Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the appointed time of which Elohim had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son who was born to him, whom Sarah bore to him, Yitzhak. And Abraham circumcised his son, Yitzhak, when he was 8 days old, as Elohim had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Yitzhak was born to him. Then we can see that and Sarah, who gives the birth to Yitzhak, okay, she stayed 7 days, in her separation, monthly separation. And she could follow Abraham in the circumcision of their son Yitzhak. But afterwards, she stayed more 30 days to complete the 40 days of separation, of cleansing for the women. The famous diet that the women in the past tense and they did. Well, let's see this verse in the Torah, in the time of Yahushua HaMashiach and his disciples. This item number 100. Luca, chapter 2. Luca, chapter 2, verse 1 to follow. Luca, chapter 2. Luke, chapter 2, verse 1, 24. And let's simplify that and let's read in Luke 2, 24 to 25 to abbreviate a little. And to give an offering according to what is said in the Torah of Yahweh, a pair of 30 doves or 2 young pigeons. And see, there was a man in Jerusalem whose name was Shimon, and this man was righteous and dedicated, looking for the comfort of Israel, and the set-apart spirit was upon him. And it had been revealed to him by the set-apart spirit that he would not see death before he sees the Messiah of Yahweh. And he came in the spirit into the set-apart place, and as the parents brought in the child Yahushua, to do for him according to the usual practice of the Torah. Okay. Well, but in these verses 21 until 24, and when 8 days were completed for him to be circumcised, his name was called Yahushua. That it means Yahweh salvation, Yahweh redemption. The name given by the messenger before he was conceived in the womb. And when the days of her cleansing, according to the Torah of Moshe, were completed, they brought him to Jerusalem to present him to Yahweh, as it has been written in the Torah of Yahweh. Well, you can see here that Mary or Miriam, and she fulfilled her cleansing, okay, when he was born Yahushua, okay, because she stayed 7 days in her monthly separation, and she followed Asaaf in the presentation of Yahushua before the Kohanim, and afterward she stayed more 33 days in her separation, monthly separation. In her separation, according to the Torah, to complete the 40 days of separation, because when one woman and has a child, if it was a man, 40 days of separation. If it was a female, 80 days of separation. She could not touch in holy things. She could not go to the temple, okay, because she is impure. Well, let's go to the item number 101, the leper. 101. Anyone with a spreading skin disease is ritually unclean, leprosy, or leper. Vaikra 13:2-46. Vaikra 13. Vaikra 13. Vaikra 13. Vaikra 13. 2-46. When a man has on the skin of his body a swelling, a scab, or a bright spot, and it shall become on the skin of his body like a leprous infection, then he shall be brought to Aaron the priest, or to one of his sons the priest. And the priest shall look at the infection on the skin of the body, and if the hair on the infection has turned white, and the infection appears to be deeper than the skin of his body, it is leprous infection. And the priest shall look at him and pronounce him unclean. But if the bright spot is white on the skin of his body and does not appear to be deeper than the skin, and it is hair has not turned white, then the priest shall shut up the infected one 7 days. And the priest shall look at him on the 7th day and see if the infection appears to be as it was, and the infection has not spread on the skin, then the priest shall shut him up another 7 days. And the priest shall look at him again on the 7th day and see if the infection has darkened and the infection has not spread on the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is a scab, and he shall wash his garments, be clean. But if the scab spreads further over the skin after he has been seen by the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen by the priest again. And the priest shall look and see if the scab has spread on the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean, it is leprosy. When the infection of leprosy is on man, then he shall be brought to the priest. And the priest shall look and see if the swelling on the skin is white, and it has turned the hair white, and there is a spot of raw flesh in the swelling. Then you can see that the first action that the person that was suspecting of leprosy, and he was going to the court, and the court examined him or her, and the Kohen left him or her, okay, with the advisement, expecting 7 days. And if this swelling, if it is infection increased, and the Kohen declared him impure, and they stayed out of the camping, the Mahane. Okay. Well, we're going to stop here at the verse 10 of Vaikra 13, and in the next Thursday we continue with it because the text is very long, okay, and we must examine it step by step. I thank you for your attention. Remember that in the next Friday, in the next teaching, I'm going to start with this item number 10. Okay, to continue this item number 101. Anyone with a spread skin disease is ritually unclean. Vaikra 13, verse 12 to 46. We have more yet, 36 verse to read. And I'm sorry, okay, but I must stop here because our time is very short here. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Toda rabá toda rabá lesim leve shelcha. Yahweh bless you. Yahweh baruch atah v'ramishpahaga. אני מקווה אותך ואותה ביום רמישי רבה. שלום, יהוה עמכם, נתראה ביום רמישי. שלום, שלום.